I thought that, I think a good result was the draw.
He had a tough break. Manny's great fighter, just bad leg fall. Let him fight again.
Back and forth. I mean, Manny shocked me. I didn't think that he was going to be able to do the 12 rounds route. He looked really good until the 12th round. And Barrios just didn't do enough, man. He just was stuck in second gear. It seemed like there were a lot of opportunities for him to take advantage, and he just didn't. Manny did a great job of utilizing the crowd, utilizing his hand speed, his foot speed, some movement just to keep.
Manny Pacquiao's return to the ring at 46 years old against Mario Barrios sparked both nostalgia and controversy, while fans celebrated the legend's unmatched resilience and passion. The final Decision 8 draw has stirred debates throughout the boxing world. Many believe Manny did enough to secure the win, while others point to the razor-thin margins and physical toll of age. The aftermath wasn't just about points, it was about legacy, the limitations of age, and whether a boxing icon should still be fighting the young lions of the sport. In this episode of Box Up, we dive deep into expert opinions, dissecting what really happened in the ring and whether the draw was justified or if it robbed Manny of a triumphant comeback.
I thought that, I think a good result was the draw.
Veteran promoter Bob Arum watched Manny's performance closely, and in his immediate post-fight reflections, he stated that a draw seemed like a good result. This wasn't a dismissive comment, it was based on his own scorecard, which he referenced later, but it shows Arum's awareness of how tightly contested the bout was. Coming from someone who has seen generations of fighters rise and fall, Arum's acceptance of the draw suggests that while Manny performed admirably, the scoring reflected a closely fought battle rather than a decisive victory. Still, it sets the tone. If a draw is considered a good result, it implies Manny did enough to at least split the opinions.
I had Manny winning 6 out of the first 9 rounds, and then I had him, the other guy, winning the last 3 to make it a draw.
Bob Arum later elaborated that he had Pacquiao winning 6 of the first 9 rounds, a significant lead early on. However, he then gave the final 3 rounds to Barrios, which is what leveled the scorecard in his eyes. This scoring narrative is crucial because it demonstrates Manny's dominance early on and only fades slightly in the later rounds, something to be expected from a 46-year-old facing a much younger opponent. Yet, it's also an indicator of how razor-thin the margin was. Did Manny coast too much near the end, or did the judges overlook his control early on? Either way, Arum's breakdown provides structural support to the notion that this wasn't a robbery, but a case of late-round resurgence balancing out early brilliance.
But it was that kind of fight. But be that as it may, I think you have to give tremendous credit to Manny at his age for him to have performed the way he did against a much younger man.
Despite the split scorecard, Arum doesn't shy away from crediting Manny for what he accomplished. Facing a younger, fresher opponent and still going the distance competitively was no small feat. Arum's tone here shifts from analytical to respectful, acknowledging that regardless of how people score the bout, Manny defied expectations. This acknowledgement underscores the idea that while technicalities might favor a draw, the heart of performance, the sheer will, movement, and courage leans in Manny's favor. It paints the fight less as a statistical contest and more as a moment of greatness in the twilight of a legendary career.
Come out 40-60, and people in the comments say I'm gonna knock out Tony. He's only 41. He fought the best of the best. Yeah. So I only fought influencers, except for Anthony Taylor and Josh Brockman.
Salt Poppy's reaction, though more casual, taps into a generational contrast. He compares the internet hype of influencers and new age fighters with legends like Manny, who have fought real battles against elite opponents. He doesn't directly criticize the draw, but indirectly defends Manny by highlighting the gravity of what he's accomplished over the years, including in this fight. It's an endorsement of experience, grit, and legacy over mere athleticism. Manny's ability to go toe-to-toe with someone in his prime isn't something many can do at 46, and Poppy's comments reinforce that Manny's presence in the ring still commands respect.
Continue.
I don't even want to talk about that, man. You know, I got deep-rooted, I don't even want to talk about that, man, for real, because it's just, nah. Congratulations, just put it this way, congratulations, I don't want to say congratulations, just, hey, man.
You know him better than anybody, Tim.
That wasn't Pacquiao. That wasn't the bad.
Tim Bradley, a former opponent of Manny, shows genuine emotional conflict in his response. He can't bring himself to fully congratulate Pacquiao because he feels it wasn't the real Manny in the ring. This comment is both critical and protective. Bradley knows what prime Pacquiao looks like, and while he respects the heart on display, he questions whether it's worth the risk at this stage. His frustration doesn't seem to stem from the draw itself, but rather from seeing a beloved legend push himself into dangerous territory. It's an honest reaction from someone who's been in the ring with him and feels torn between admiration and concern.
I know Pacquiao very well. Pacquiao, 46 years old, man. Done a lot of the sport. There's no need. I know he wants to. Just because you can do it, don't mean that you should. And I just worry about his health. I worry about his health, and that's just out of love. Whether people think I'm hating or not.
Tim Bradley, in a moment of heartfelt honesty, reflects on his deep familiarity with Manny Pacquiao, expressing concern not as a critic, but as someone who genuinely cares about the legend's well-being. Pacquiao, 46 years old, man, done a lot in the sport. He says, emphasizing that while Manny might still be physically capable, that doesn't mean he should keep fighting. Bradley's tone is tender yet firm. His primary worry is health, not legacy. He anticipates some fans might interpret his comments as hate, but clarifies that it comes purely out of love. His point highlights the silent burden older fighters carry the risk they're willing to take while the world watches in awe. Bradley's emotion offers a sobering reminder. While fans debate wins and draws, the fighters themselves gamble with their long-term health. He's not doubting Manny's greatness, but urging him, perhaps as a friend would, to consider whether it's worth it to continue risking everything when he has nothing left to prove. This concern shapes the emotional lens through which many now view the draw less about whether Manny won, more about whether he should still be in there.
46. Did he do good for 46? Yeah, he did good for 46. But at the end of the day, he still didn't win.
Continuing with his brutally honest but grounded stance, Tim Bradley gives Manny Pacquiao due credit for his performance at 46, but he doesn't shy away from the truth. Did he do good for 46? Yeah, he did, but at the end of the day, he still didn't win. In that simple statement, Bradley sums up the conflict many boxing fans felt. Admiration for Manny's effort, but frustration or denial about the result. He's not diminishing Pacquiao's conditioning or heart. He's reinforcing that admiration alone doesn't sway the scorecards. The sport is measured by results, not nostalgia. Bradley's words suggest that while performance was impressive given Manny's age, it's also a reminder that boxing doesn't make concessions for past greatness. It's about who won that night. For Bradley, that wasn't Manny. This measured honesty from a fellow fighter brings credibility and finality to the argument. He recognizes Manny's legend, but stays rooted in the reality of scoring and outcome. It also hints that many fans or media voices are reacting emotionally, but that doesn't change the fact that the judges saw it as a draw because neither man did enough to win clearly.
Full-on fledged, fight these young guns, man, 16 years younger than you.
It's dangerous.
Bro, it is dangerous, man. All it takes is one punch, man. That's it, one punch, man. So, but hey, he got through it. He got through with it. Barrios. Moving forward, we'll see what he does next.
Tim Bradley takes his concern further, emphasizing the danger Manny faced by stepping into the ring with someone 16 years younger. Full-on fledged fighting these young guns, man. It's dangerous, bro, he warns. Bradley isn't just referring to skill differences. He's talking about physical durability and the unpredictability of boxing. All it takes is one push, he says, highlighting the terrifying truth that a single punch, slip, or moment of delayed reaction can have devastating consequences for an aging fighter. Even though Manny came through unscathed, Tim makes it clear it was a narrow escape. He acknowledges that Pacquiao got through it, but subtly asks the question, what if he didn't next time? This isn't fear-mongering, it's a plea for awareness. Fighters like Manny, driven by greatness, often overlook their own limits. Bradley is trying to sound the alarm before something irreversible happens. His statement isn't a critique of Manny's abilities, it's a warning that even legends aren't immune to the harsh physics of the sport. And while fans may see the draw as a moral victory, Bradley is focused on the bigger risk Manny's safety moving forward.
He got a tough break. Not a great fighter, just bad day for him. Let him fight again.
Mike Tyson, always known for his blunt and impactful commentary, offered one of the most sympathetic takes on the result. Referring to Pacquiao-Barrios fight, he called it a tough break for Manny, signaling that he didn't agree with the final judgment, while he credited Barrios for a strong performance. Tyson clearly felt that the decision leaned unfairly against a veteran. His concise phrasing dash, just a decision turned out bad for Manny, speaks volumes. Tyson's not the type to mince words or sugarcoat reality, and this remark adds considerable weight to the argument that Manny might have deserved more than a draw. Yet what stands out most is Tyson's optimism. He says Manny can still fight again, suggesting he sees no major decline in Pacquiao's ability. Coming from someone who also extended his own fighting career into later years, Tyson's endorsement carries weight. It's not just pity or nostalgia. He genuinely believes Manny remains capable. This vote of confidence from Iron Mike reinforces the idea that the result wasn't definitive and that Manny still has enough left in the tank to make things right if a rematch ever happens.
And forth, I mean, Manny shocked me. I didn't think that he was going to be able to do the 12 rounds route. He looked really good until the 12th round. And Barrios just didn't do enough, man. He just was stuck in second gear. It seemed like there were a lot of opportunities for him to take advantage, and he just didn't. Manny did a great job of utilizing the crowd, utilizing his hand speed, his foot speed, some movement just to keep.
Chris Algieri, a technician of the sport, provided one of the most detailed breakdowns of the fight and came away stunned. Manny shocked me, he admits, openly surprised by Pacquiao's ability to go all 12 rounds competitively at age 46. Calling the bout super close, Algieri walks a tightrope between praising both fighters, but ultimately places more credit on Manny's performance. He points out how Manny expertly used the crowd, hand speed, and footwork to control the ring and maintain momentum. Meanwhile, he criticizes Barrios for being stuck in second gear, saying Barrios missed several opportunities to push the pace and capitalize on his youth and reach. The fact that Algieri himself, a former opponent of Manny, was shocked by the Filipino legend's endurance speaks volumes. He paints a picture of a fighter who not only defied expectations, but arguably outclassed his younger rival in key strategic moments. Algieri's insight tips the scales in Manny's favor, not necessarily to declare him the winner, but to show he was never outclassed, and perhaps even edge the fight on craft, experience, and ring IQ. This adds credibility to the view that the draw might have been generous to Barrios. So was it really a draw, or did Manny win that fight? The experts are split, the fans are fired up, and the legacy of this bout may evolve over time. But one thing's certain, Manny Pacquiao did what very few thought he could: go toe-to-toe with a dangerous, younger opponent, and emerge not just standing, but still commanding respect. Whether it was his superior ring IQ, his conditioning, or the roar of the crowd behind him, Manny delivered a performance that blurred the lines between age and greatness. For many, this wasn't just a return, it was a statement. And while the judges called it even, millions around the world saw something else entirely. Manny didn't just fight, he reminded the world who he is. What do you think? Was it really a draw? Or did Manny Pacquiao do enough to win? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a deep dive like this. This is Box Hub, where boxing lives, breathes, and fights back.